you can ride some coattails on, okay? But then it started me thinking back to last year. You guys remember last year? I'm going to give you two players, and I'm going to give you the scenarios on this date 1 year ago. And we're going to reflect on it real quick and think about what happened from this date on, okay? So last year on May 14th, Paul Goldschmidt was batting a mere .211. He only had 4 homers and 12 RBIs. He did have 26 runs, well, because Goldschmidt's a beast. But I remember all the clamor was about Goldschmidt's washed up. He can't see. His hands are slow. This, that, or the other. We all know how that ended, right? But just in case you were living under a rock, let me refresh everyone's memory. So from May 14th on last year, all Paul Goldschmidt did was raise his batting average 79 points. He hit 314 from May 14th on. He hit 314. He had 29 homers, 70 runs, and 71 RBIs in 118 games. That's getting it done, folks. Well done. So he raised his average, like I said, 79 points from 211 to 290. He ended up with 33 homers, 95 runs, and 83 RBIs. So here's a guy that you go from last season to an MVP candidate from today's date. Okay? So, perspective, right? Here's another one. And this guy's numbers are even more telling. This time last year, Matt Carpenter was hitting 140. Arnie, you hear that? Matt Carpenter was hitting 140 this time last year. He had 16 stinking hits last year at this time. Okay? He had 3 concerning home runs, 12 runs, and just 13 RBIs. Everybody was saying Matt Carpenter's washed up, can't hit anymore. How'd that end? Well, from that point on, Carp hit 289. He had 33 homers. From that point, he had 33 homers, 99 runs, and 68 RBIs. To finish the year, first off, I want to take note. He went from hitting 140 to hitting 280. He doubled his batting average from this point on last year, okay? Just want to take note of that. But he ended the year hitting 257, 36 homers, 111 runs, and 82 RBIs. The point is, Arnie, Carpenter was dropped again in one of my leagues. Again, someone dropped Carpenter. I got a waiver wire out on him. Like, people don't learn their lesson. I don't get it, man. Anyway. So, why do I go through this exercise, right? Perspective. It's perspective. Because we could sit here and we could look at these numbers for the year and get a totally different picture than we would if we sit there and we break down a point in a year when a trend starts happening, okay? What do I mean? This next segment, I call it heating, cooling, and air conditioning. You'll see why in a second, Arn. Okay, so, negative regression. These guys are cooling down, okay? I remember back on April 17th. This isn't a budget this is a, man. Whoo. This isn't a fab budget league. It's just an old school style waiver wire league. So, but the thing about those leagues, Easy's asking how much fab I'm planning on spending. The thing about those leagues is those guys covet those waiver positions. So a lot of times if they'll try and get them through and get them on the free. So I put in a waiver. I don't care. I'll stay at 12 all year. That's just how I feel about that. No, if it were a fab situation, I'd probably put half to 2/3 of my budget in, whatever I had left. Significant for sure. So, but anyway, back to the segment. Cooling. Who's cooling, right? Well, first off, remember back on April 17th? This player was hitting 316. Colton Wong. He's hitting 316. He had 4 homers, 10 runs, 12 RBIs, 4 stolen bases in 18 games. He had 4 stolen bases. Okay, that's great. So you look at him, his yearly stats, right? And you remember. It's funny because we want to remember the positive. You remember that good start. You're like, oh, you don't remember he's hit 316. Like, oh, Colton Wong's hitting 240. That's not bad. He's got 4 homers. That's not bad. He's got 16 runs, 19 RBIs. He's got 6 stolen bases. That's serviceable. But here's the thing, guys. Since April 17th, Colt Wong has a stinking 12 hits. He's hitting 181. He's got 0 homers, 6 runs, and 7 RBIs in the last 20 games. Yeah, he's stolen 2 bases. But what kind of value are you getting there? So my point is, if you sit there and you look at his year, you get one picture. But if you look at since April 17th, you're getting a big turd burger, okay? Don't take that turd burger. The next guy, Jason Hayward. Jason Hayward, back on April 16th, was hit 362, okay? He had 4 homers, 13 runs, and 10 RBIs to go with 3 stolen bases. But since then, guys, he's hit 229. 16 of 70. He only has 2 homers, 5 runs, and 8 RBIs in 21 games. So, here's another guy he's cooling off, okay? And my next guy in cooling, I was kind of sweating here, Arnie. Christian Walker. Arnie knows I made a big deal at the beginning of the year. Gave Christian Walker away as kind of an afterthought. But then started sweating bullets when he just kept hitting. So if you look at Christian Walker, on the year he's at 289. He's got 7 homers, 21 runs, 16 RBIs. Hell, he's even got 3 stolen bases. But remember back on April 20th? Back on April 20th, he was hitting 353. 24-68. He had 6 homers, 12 runs, 11 RBIs, and 3 stolen bases. Well, Arnie, since then, he's hitting 224. 15 of his last 67. 1 homer, 9 runs, and 5 RBIs. Now, you can like him all you want, but if he hits 224 for the next month and a half, no one's going to like him. Okay? So, yeah. And so from what I heard today, and I'm winging it, he's striking out a lot more on the outer part of the plate. So pitchers know that he'll go fishing on the outside part of the plate, and that's kind of giving him a hole in his swing. So if he adjusts back, maybe you see that regression. But I'm guessing a 28-year-old probably hasn't been discovered yet for a reason. Maybe I'm wrong. Hell, I've been wrong before. So that's the cooling part, okay? How about some heating up? We all like heating up. It's summer. Flores will move to first base, Orange says. I could see that. It might be, I know that was your boy early on, right? That might be a good opportunity for him. So, who's heating up? I got 2 guys that are heating up you can't get. 2 guys you might... Sorry, North Carolina thing. I'm going to bring this up for you. You could get. I remember I moved down to North Carolina and someone said Mike could. I'm like, what the hell is Mike could? I get you, Arn. I know what you're saying. Anyway, heating up. How about Ronald Acuna? Remember back on April 9th, guys? Acuna was 8 for 38 through 11 games. He was hitting 211. He had 4 homers, 10 runs, 7 RBIs, 1 stolen base. Since then, Acuna's hitting 309. He's got 5 homers, 13 runs, 17 RBIs, and a stolen base in 28 games. So, the power numbers have subsided a little bit, but the average has really picked up, right? On the year, he's hitting 290 with 8 homers. I know the math's not right there, so I apologize. 4 and 5 is not 8. 8 homers, 22 runs, 23 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. So Acuna's a guy who's heating up. So if you get a player who, if you're in a league where a player maybe isn't as seasoned, you might be able to pull the wool over someone's eyes and get Ronald Acuna. I doubt it, though. Usually the guy that has Acuna likes him. At least that's been my experience. So, the next guy, heating up, Michael Brantley. Folks, back on April 12th, he was putting up a respectable stat line. The power hadn't come yet, but he was hit 283, 2 homers, 8 runs, 8 RBIs, and a stolen base in 14 games. But since that point, on April 12th, Michael Brantley has hit 373. 373. He's 41 for 110. He's got 8 homers in 28 games, 21 runs, 22 ribbies, and even 2 stolen bases. That raised his average up to 340 for the year. Yeah, you're right, Arnie. Brantley is the AL MVP right now. I mean, you think about that whole team. I mean, you could say the same thing about Springer. I mean, talk about a team of all-stars. So anyway, what a great pickup. Houston didn't spend a whole lot to get Brantley. I don't know what the contract was, but it was a deal. It was a deal getting him. 2 guys you might be able to still get. I doubt it. Especially this first one. Franmil Reyes. Guys, I'm going to keep talking about him. Franmil Reyes. Boy, that kid's talented. Back on April 27th, he was hitting 192. Now, granted, he had 6 homers, 7 runs in 11 RBIs in 27 games. But since then, in 13 games, last 13 games, he's hitting 352. Okay? He's got 5 homers in his last 13 games. Folks, he had 6 homers in his first 27 games. Okay? This guy's heating up. At this moment, he's at 266 with 11 homers, 16 runs, and 22 RBIs. We saw this at the end of the year last year. Franmil Reyes gets a bad rap for not being this great hitter. Franmil Reyes is about a 280 hitter, folks. Mark my words, that's what he's going to hit this year. Okay? So that's a positive ascension. So there's your heating up, guys. And I just got one guy, but I thought I was pretty cool here. So, who's our air conditioner? And why is he an air conditioner, right? Well, he's an air conditioner because he's got staying power. He's going to keep you cool all summer, guys. How about Mr. Josh Bell? Okay? Josh Bell, he's hitting 319 on the year. 10 homers, 25 runs, 34 RBIs through 37 games, guys. He's flirting with 40 homers. And I think he can do it. And here's a guy that you got for basically nothing. You got him in the second half of the draft for sure. Probably in the last quarter, right? And he's putting up MVP caliber numbers. I did on the first take of this show. I'm not going to have time to do it this time. I did blind stats with him and Javier Baez. Guys, he's putting up comparable stats to Javier Baez, who's seen as like a legitimate MVP contender. At least at the beginning of the year he was, you know? So again, Josh Bell is cool. He's my air conditioner. All right. So, moving on. The last segment, the one we've all been waiting for. How about our waiver wires, guys? I'm going to do some waiver wires. I'm going to give you 10 guys. And then I'm also going to give you some minor league discussion because, hell, we've had a lot of movement today, haven't we? It's been pretty crazy today. I love this time of year with all the prospects coming up. Hell, Arnie and I were going to do the whole show at 9 o'clock. So, anyway, got 10 guys here. And going off of Yahoo, because that's what I chose to do. My first guy,